showing you can do it either way, but this is ultimately what we're going for here. So as we're reading through the instructions, we have this is a 4-aught. No, this is a 250, right? What 350? 350. So we're on a 57, 52, 1-aught to 350. Okay. All right. So what I recommend is we just kind of note that here so we don't forget which kit we're on.
Behind you, be careful.
Okay. Here. Okay. So the one thing that you got is you got two different dimensions on cable A versus cable B. So what I'd recommend is saying, okay, so we don't forget which one's A and B. We're going to mark A. We're going to mark A and B, right? So as this is, I would do it just like this. So we're going to come back here somewhere and just say cable A, cable B, right? Just so we don't forget. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen guys just, oh yeah, well wait a minute, now, was that A or B? And then they get all goofed up. I'm like, why don't you just mark the damn thing when you started?
And this is just an opposite side of the cable, is
Correct.
That why?
Yeah, because you're gonna.
But this is the same. This is two different cables, so.
Oh yeah, so let's do this then.
So we need another piece of this.
What size? Hang on, let me do this. Nah, no, because we can just use one, cut it in half again.
All right.
We don't need quite this armor or jacket if non-armor from cable A for the distances in the table below. Okay, here's our table. So A is 13 inches. Okay. So measure back 13 inches on that side and put a mark. Okay, on cable B, 7 inches. And let's see what that is. Looking to see if I had any tape.
What do you mean,
Like color tape, face tape? We got color tape. It's just easier to see.
You can keep that.
I might have some here somewhere. Okay, and then you're gonna store it down here. Okay, it's back. You see how thick that is?
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
It's quite an ordeal, right? But what you got to make sure is that when you come up through here, you're not dinging the conductor or the insulation here, right? So it yeah. Sorry. All right. So you're gonna come around. I don't care if you cheat today because you're learning, right? So you can spin this cable if you want today. Okay? And sometimes I'll start with this guy here. I know I'm not deep enough here. That's okay.
Right.
So let's go ahead and let's start coming down this way. And for me, there's a lot of little scores. Right? Exactly. Each time it's going a little bit deeper. Little deeper. You're tired of doing it. But just like so, just keep going on that one.
Oh, thank you guys for using our 3M tape. I can't tell you how many trainings I've done. Coming out here doing all this stuff for free, and then the guys are using a competitive tape. And it's like, guys, come on.
And so one thing I didn't mention, so when you're coming, see how I kind of split the difference between those conductors. I'm kind of trying to come to the middle. I'm not worried about the ground.
Right,
I'm not worried
exactly.
about the ground, but I want to come in.
Right, instead of running the cut through on top of that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
They are fake stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're black, red, blue.
Oh, okay.
You got through it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race on this one. You just don't want to go too deep.
Yep.
Probably easier when you have like 100 feet on the other end.
It is easier. Yeah, I mean, it has some weight behind it. Yeah. Let me step back from you here. I do like my legs without nothing. Now, you probably need to go that ring cut again,
Mhm.
right? Because I didn't go too deep. I was just doing kind of that first pass.
No, we should have got the.
Be careful getting a hook in there like that.
Yeah,
Who
I
do
know.
he's contact for the tools? All the toolkit we got for the knives and.
Mark Murphy.
Mark Murphy, yeah. He sent us all kits with all that stuff.
Do you guys recommend like a hog bill like that, or is it does it
It's
matter?
user
Utility?
preference. User preference.
Yeah. No
I don't like the utility knives because the blades can break on you. I mean, you're cutting through a real thick
Yeah.
piece
Yeah,
of
it's
rubber
really
and pinching it. And man, if you've ever seen utility blades snap, they go
Yeah.
flying.
Yeah.
They're dangerous. I like the hawk bill personally, but a lot of guys prefer a knife more like this. I'm kind of like whatever you get used to. Kind of my thought.
What do you do to cut them with those stones?
You can do it. They're hard to do on a stone. I actually have it on that.
Because I find those things get dull.
Hey, dude, this one actually is a replaceable blade. Screw out the blade.
Yeah, there's banana
Feeling
this
it
guy.
back.
So I brought. I didn't
One of the deep blades.
stuff. I just kind of put together
Also, I think you gotta like score it more. I think you gotta kind of get it up and score it. So
Yeah, just score.
rather than
Bunch of
digging it.
scores.
Hello.
so quick and there's so many people.
How you doing? Yes. Okay. Yes. I'll get that today. Thank you. No, bye.
No, just a work ethic.
No, yeah, it is.
Hello. Hello.
No, you watch them. But
Sometimes you take your channel, come in and roll it. You know what I mean? Use that as like a lever.
Right.
Yeah.
Do they make any kind of tool where you can actually set the depth and cut it? Like, is there any?
For this cable, for other cables, yeah, this cable is really difficult because there's the depth
Yeah.
changes as it comes around the conductor. I've tried different tools on this guy and it just doesn't seem to work out real well.
Shit, if this was in yesterday.
It was raining.
Was it? Beautiful.
Yeah, we're like one day. Like this is a perfect day to do this thing. Okay, so
That'd be looking good. You didn't damage any of your shield there coming through, so all good.
Same
There you go.
thing.
Same thing.
Same thing here?
Yep, yep. I'll get in there. tell he's the boss of how he holds.
Don't use. Yeah, here. Go ahead, Tom. I know. I haven't done this in a long time, man.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Concerned at all?
Not on a 4160. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
If you were on a, like
Yeah.
a 35 kV, I would be.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For about 4 inches, give or take, right? And the reason why we're scuffing it is I want the resin to cure and hold on to it real good, okay? It's kind of this, you don't want it to be a smooth surface.
When he
So-
edits it.
Yeah. So on the insulation, you want to make sure you use an electrician's abrasive because it doesn't have metal in the abrasive. Some abrasives do have metal. When you're out on the jacket here, I don't care. You're outside the electrical field here, so any metal particles aren't a big deal.
Got it.
But if we're going to use just from the regular hardware store, as we're wiping this off, just make sure you wipe it this way, right? And not this way to bring any metal in there. But that would be the only thought. That's your ground check. So you don't have any filler in here at all, okay? So you don't need to worry about that. That's your ground check. You got 2 grounds and a ground check.
Is this a filler here?
Well, it is. Is it hiding in between there? Oh, he's hiding in there. Yeah. Okay. Let's give him a pair of dikes and snip him.
Pair of dikes.
Yeah. Pair of scissors or whatever you got. Smooth filler. Just get it out of your way.
Nether, can you give him a pair of dikes, please? Okay, and then, so remove any color coding material from conductors back to the ends of the armor or jacket.
Okay. Sometimes you'll have a color coding stripe down here. Okay. It'll just be like a piece of plastic stripe. This is woven in between your tape shield, so I'd leave it there. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Select 3M Scotch lock connectors are the dimensional equivalent for conductor joining. Refer to the table at the end of this instruction for 3M Scotch lock connector crimping information.
Okay.
So we're right here.
We've got to get. Where's our dimension for
Our cutbacks.
our cut back here? So
Oh,
There you go.
then it says, then we just read it maybe.
remove for half an inch there. Pencil installation to 1/4 of an inch. Where's my jack? Where's my tape shield?
It says at the end of this instruction. So your cutbacks are here. Oh, it's gonna be here. Okay, here it is.
No, that's for the connector. I'm looking for the.
This one's calling for stuff at 10 inches?
It's a different length. I'm not worried about length. Okay. So 1 8 2 8 3 8 C 3.
4 3/8.
Agree. Okay.
Can we tape that as well or no?
You can, but it's the problem is you're actually gonna have to bunch it a little bit to get through it.
Yeah.
So there's, and as I mentioned before, we're in 4160, so we get a lot of slack, right, with what we're doing. But I'm just gonna come in and cut this.
We're all scared.
Best I can, right? I mean, it's hard to get this stuff exact.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Get some crap out of my way.
No, don't fucking 4160. Don't worry about it. So we get some scissors off.
Yeah, the scissors are helpful.
Better than dikes, for sure.
They work really well for some things,
Yeah.
for sure, man.
No, just.
I agree. That's what I'm noticing right now.
Yeah, they work great for
Because I
that.
normally cut it with dikes, and it's a pain.
No,
in
it's
the
a pain. in the
Yeah,
ass
yeah.
sometimes.
And so
They're
that's
like little
with
pieces.
the scissors. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes it nice.
It's a semiconductor safe. I can use this to help hold that down.
Fully taped jacket and
The middle shield.
Yeah. Or in a lot of cases we have copper tape, but there's just either one's fine. This is where fingernails come in handy.
That came in a kit, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not recording this. Go for it as soon as that thing started.
So basically, we have to cut all of them at the same length.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm glad it's not just me. Get me to my mark right there. Stuff self-fusing, so we'll come back. So let's leave that sitting right there for the next one. Okay, I'll let you do the next two there. And we'll do those two.
We do have another pair.
What are you?
Oh no.
So what was the measurement?
So
4 and 3/8.
Look at
4
4 and 3/8. So did we? I got a question, right? It says remove cable jacket for 10 inches.
Yep. The dimension on that kid's gonna be a little bigger.
So,
That's
but
okay.
fully taper jacket in. So they want us to taper
To
the
taper that jacket in. We can do that here too.
What is it? How's it? Do you care about it? And if you were, would you just like taper it in?
Yeah. But you taper it, and then you gotta sand it a little bit because you want to try to get it smooth.
How do you taper?
So then I'm literally
Taper this jacket?
I'm gonna do like that. We're gonna taper the insulation as well. I don't. The taper of the jacket to me is like just in the acid. It doesn't functionally do anything for you. To be honest.
Alright.
That's only
Yeah.
taper.
No, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, at any voltage, I wouldn't worry about it.
So-
The jacket.
Apply 2 wraps of tightly stretched Scotch 33 vinyl electrical taper on each conductor 4 inch from end.
Piece of jacket.
So that's what you did?
But the root's saying 33, right? Taste the piece. I prefer having a semiconductive layer right there over top of my conductor.
But that's the step that we did. We applied 2 wraps of tightly of this Super 33, right?
Yeah. But we use 13 as well.
Okay, that's fine.
Watch those little conductors too, man. If you catch one, they're like little slivers. Or these guys are
Yeah.
They'll get in your skin.
Yeah.
And bend. Okay, so we're on step 2.6, right? Is that what we're doing?
Is that good or have to clean it up more?
I just clean that long one up. You know what I mean? And then hold it in place with the 30 or the 13.
You want a haircut, right?
You know,
So the kit the same or the kit missing something?
It's
I guess it doesn't matter, huh?
the same. So you get
I have 3/16.
and 6/16, right? We agree with that?
Yeah.
So half of that.
1 and 3/16.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm wrong. Okay. So we're taking 1 and 3/16 plus a quarter.
how do we determine
Why are you
the
taking
quarter?
a
Can
quarter?
you show Sal that? Can you guys make sure Sal's
Yep.
in that loop, please?
For expansion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you crimp it down, because it's
Expansion.
aluminum,
Yeah.
it expands.
I had to
It's-
think about that one for a second.
Yeah, it expands.
So it's on this set of instructions, but it's going to tell you half the connector length plus a quarter, right?
Got it.
So a quarter is 4/16, so 1 7/16.
But he needs the note here.
Yeah, I got him.
He's gonna be
Okay.
the guy doing this, really.
So I'm going back to the shielded cable one. Makes sense because the other half's going to go over here.
Mhm.
Okay,
Got
so I
it.
got half. So this connector measured 2 and 3/8.
Mhm.
So we figured out that that's 1 and 3/16. Plus we're adding that quarter. Okay, that's going to be for the shielded instructions.
You're gonna
here.
add, right?
We're going to add a quarter.
Got it.
So 1 and 3/16 plus a quarter is 1 and 7/16.
Total. Okay. From here, once.
Yeah, 1
7/16.
7/16.
Gotcha.
Yep. Okay, makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
it's easier to taper if this insulation is here. So what I'll do, it's a little tricky to do because you get a bunch of cables around there. Let's go back to our yellow tape again. On this one, I tape to the high side because I'm going to remove it. I don't want a lot of adhesive on my insulation. What I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and make this ring cut here, okay?
And then that's obviously gonna push back infield and thousand
Best I can. Okay. Now on this next spot, I do like a flat knife and not a hook knife.
You got it out here somewhere.
I had it. I think I opened it.
Got it?
Got it. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'll come back in here and put a piece of tape. Here, I'll have to clean this up a little bit. Okay, just help me out.
Yeah, and then tomorrow,
Gotta get you on
James and Taylor, Bakersfield, True Star,
Paper off
6:30
there.
a.m.
Let's get that paper off of here. So by leaving that insulation there, I can come down and I'm not hitting the conductor over and over and over again. See what?
Or your hands or your thighs or anything else.
And then you'll take care of pulling the temp off, right?
Now it's
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is, really is.
it's a little easier doing what he's doing in a
Is it?
situation like this because you can move the cable, you can do everything else. If it's coming out of the ground or coming down out of
Yeah, you don't have all that.
there, it might be leaning against,
Right.
and so
And
getting
I'm gonna
behind
cheat
it is a little tougher.
So we're cheating right now, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then it was a taper of, it was 3/16 taper?
3/4.
3/4. Oh wow. So tape.
It's a lot.
So you marked it and then came back up 3/4.
Yeah, and that's my 3/4.
And that's your taper.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, because the tape is 3/4 inches, right?
Yeah.
And you will always remember to do this because the first time you forget, it won't work. Why isn't this working?
Okay, now once we get that done, then here, you get some of this in your pocket, guys. You can grab the drawer. Hey, fine.
This is the one without the metal.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So it's just because I'm working in 3/4 of an inch, it's easier for me to rip this in half. Okay. Guys that do this, so a lot of these like big mines, there's a guy that actually takes this cable, they have it on reels, he'll bring it into the shop, reel it, bring 2 cables, he'll just sit there all day. This is all he does. All day, every day. Guys that do this all day long get really good at this taper. They're a lot better than I am.
The new wire. You should do that in the shop.
Oh. Get it all prepped up.
Let's roll it over, see how it looks on the other side.
Up to here's my 1 and 7.
Yeah.
3/4 gap.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
We're not worried about getting that black,
We're
start
gonna
showing the black, right?
No, we're not worried about it. We're gonna get it cleaned up too later.
At least one end.
At least one end on that side. We'll go over
The
here.
splice
and
and
we'll
the termination, and then you just come out here and do the termination.
Yeah.
Then you do the splice kit. You just do one splice kit here. You just sit in the yard, have fucking Kurt drop it off at the yard of your compound in there.
Yeah, if he wants to move it for you.
When am I gonna do this? Whenever I get a chance.
As soon as we're done, whenever
You know what they
want.
call that, don't you?
No, what is it?
What do you call it when you bump hard hats? I'll just cut back here. So hopefully it makes sense why I kept this chunk on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice to have a nice straight edge.
And I can keep bumping up against
Well,
it.
then you're not
And you've
scoring
got
the
a way
wire.
to cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're not gonna score the wire like that.
The wire's still in this place.
Is that an aluminum wire? No.
Yeah, this is aluminum.
So our
Well, no, I'm sorry. This is tin copper.
That's a flex, right?
This is tin copper, yeah.
All right.
Now, you may want to make your life easier in the future and get flexible conductor lugs.
Those are.
These are?
Yeah, those are. But I think those are the wrong ones. Now that I'm asking you, because those are 4/0.
4 or 3/0 flex.
So that's not gonna work.
It'll work.
It's gonna be a bitch.
It's gonna be a bitch.
So we need to get.
Yep.
I need to get the next size up, which is 250, and then 4/0 flex.
Yep, exactly. Okay. So then I got this. It's bumped a little right there, so
You understand that? So that's a flexible cable. So every lug you have. These lugs look at. So these lugs are 4/0. 3/0 flex. That's a flex.
Flex, so it should be 4 off.
It should be 4/0 flex. It should be so it's 250, 4/0 flex.
Oh, okay. Now there's a trick to getting them on. We'll go through it once we get there. All right, so you got 5 more to do.
All right, go ahead.
You'll be good at the time you get done.
Yeah, for sure.
Paper down to it.
Okay.
That way.
Make the ring cut to get rid of the paper first.
Yeah, you just get rid of that crap. That shit's got the paper on it. Most of this cable doesn't.
Shaft, but with the ATVs, you're out there and cruising around, and all of a sudden, bang.
Both sides. Yeah, so we're having problems in Colorado with all the old gold mines. We're getting in, going hiking up there.
okay.
Yeah. And if you find that because of the way in which you're tapering that's happening, then just move your mark a little bit, knowing that you're going to cut that off.
Got it.
Just come a little short on this mark.
Right, so that when we cut that, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
Core end, it's not the end of the world if you flip these things around. It's just a little harder for you. Okay, but see, now that I've got that on, I can get that on and still get to my butt connector. That's why that side's longer.
And then you slide
Makes sense
forward.
now? Okay.
So this we're pulling back, right?
Yep. If you get it the wrong way, it's just harder. It's not the end of the world. It's just harder.
And should we tape we should probably tape the end so we don't fray them, or what do you think?
Or don't touch them.
Fuck.
You're gonna play hell getting the connector on anyway, but I'll show you a little secret.
Are we worried about this?
What's that?
Because there's 3 wires.
We're gonna come in and deal with it a little bit. I'm thinking maybe we caught that with our knife as we were stripping off the jacket a little bit.
We don't want that, right?
We don't want that. Okay. But I'll show you how to
So
kind of.
just be more careful next
Yeah,
time.
Yep.
for sure.
Take your tape here.
Well, that's not how you're supposed to use a 3M product.
Hey man, you can use all uses, right?
Here, guys, I'll show you something. We will have.
All right, so you can get started, and I'll peel it back as you get it on.
So you did it upside down too. You did it upside down, so you can get the.
Right, so you can remove it. I see. So we look good.
That sucks.
Goose for dinner.
One for you.
Goose is terrible.
Rulers, everybody's rulers right here.
that's 130C. Where's my 13? Here's my 13. Okay, so my 13 comes in first. Okay, you're gonna come down into this taper, and you come from like taper to taper. So when you put 13 tape on,
You're gonna do that before you crimp it?
no, after you crimp it. Sorry, I didn't realize we hadn't crimped it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's interesting.
Hey, one thing about the crimps though.
What is this one telling us for how many?
I know. Hold on. So one thing that's what he's gonna show you. It based on the brand, it'll tell you the number of crimps. So go with him.
What is that, an Ilsco?
Ilsco. Go with him and look at the chart.
Oh, okay.
That's very important when you're doing crimps. These tools right here are just like.
The part is to get these separated enough, right? So really, what I found is the best thing to do.
Nope.
What's wrong?
They were sitting and blocked their out. They
Well,
can't
fucking
get
have
out.
him sit there. Why does he keep calling you? I mean, he just has to sit there. He's in traffic. What does he want you to do?
Move traffic.
What does he want you to do?
Bring the helicopter.
I don't understand the picture. What does he want you to do?
Hello?
Come fucking sit there. Hey, dude, stop calling me. You gotta sit there.
Okay, so the whole point of this is just to have a small enough roll that I can get in between those strands.
He can go home. I
What
don't
is
give
the
a
point?
shit. He just has to be
To
there
get
tomorrow.
small enough, this isn't gonna fit between there very easily.
Okay.
This is.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Do this once or twice, you realize this is a hell of a lot easier. Okay,
What does he want you to do?
now
Just wants to make sure he's not doing anything.
you'll figure out how. You'll have to do it a couple times. I don't know how to explain it, but there is a way that you can tape with the liner on, and then the liner kind of keeps going in your hand. You know what I mean? You'll get used to it. So when you do this, though, you stretch the snot out of this stuff. Okay? We're gonna start it just here. Okay? I gotta keep it tighter. And then we're just kind of half lapping. And what we're doing is we're rebuilding that strand shield layer that was in there, okay?
Up until this point, there hasn't been no cleaning involved yet, right?
Nope.
And we're okay.
We're gonna clean.
We're gonna get everything dirty first.
Yep, and then we'll clean it.
Because this will stay dirty, right? Because now it's being wrapped.
Yeah, the cleaner, here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So we should.
We should. If it was dirty, yeah, we'd want to clean that up. If,
All right,
this,
so
if this was dirty.
If
yes.
when he's doing it, would he wipe it down with some, wipe it down with a rag or something?
Right down with the
thing,
rag,
denatured?
denatured is fine.
Alright,
Yep.
got
it.
Yep.
Yeah,
We're gonna eventually
denatured
clean this
alcohol is
insulation,
magic.
Okay.
It's a motherfucker to get. Where do you get it at though? Now I didn't see it online.
It's like anything else. You
It
can't
says
find
that they don't
anymore.
sell it in California or some shit.
Oh, you can't buy it in California?
Look at
Yeah.
just an electrical cleaner. I mean, that's probably
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
Dielectric, right?
yeah,
Hand wipes.
No.
Baby wipes.
simple green. We'll just spray it with some green.
And I think on this, it's just one wrap on this one. So let me double check myself. I'm pretty sure it's just one.
And what we're doing here, as we go,
Two half lap.
we
Two
are
half lap.
rebuilding the cable. That's what we're doing.
2 half laps of down and back, right? That gets you
Yeah.
two.
So
two?
what we tapered,
Yep,
we were
it's
trying to
two.
get it all
Yeah.
same depth.
So we're not too concerned about what's exposed here. Like once we follow the directions,
Yep.
we're halfway. Whatever's left out is left out.
Is left out.
So it said 2 laps, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
2.
With the
Tightly
correct
wrapped.
lugs, that'll
Yeah.
that'll close that
Yeah, I
down.
was
So-
just gonna say they're gonna slide right
Yeah,
off
yeah.
with a
I
bigger
think we
lug.
should be alright with the red look. You too.
renting his units, so he's just happy about the big chicken kids.
Yeah, take the paper off.
Swirls, pull.
No, really.
2 swirl, 2 pull, 2 pull.
Now, see, I got some of that out of there. Now you can get in there a little bit better. Now, we were talking earlier. You could do this before you crimp your butt connectors on, if you wanted. The problem is then you got to try to keep everything clean.
Right.
So it's now I'm cleaning it. So it's your choice. I don't care, but you can't get it dirty once you start the sanding process, right? So we're gonna give it a little sanding. Make sure we get anything off of there.
This is surface sound, right?
This is
That's it?
surface
Just
sand.
clean it, right?
Yep, yep.
Makes you a little more popular. And then, she's watching and she's learning, and
Okay.
it makes her a little
All
more
right.
knowledgeable.
We'll do the same thing on all three. Okay, go ahead.
So
Sorry, did I get you?
now that you did this, should you finish it? Like,
We're going to. We're gonna. So you can, if you want to do one cable at a
yeah,
time.
yeah,
we'll do-
because
okay,
I mean, I
so
feel
go.
like then it'd be clean, right?
Yep.
It'd be-
Okay. So then go ahead and let's
Clean
do this
this side.
side. Yeah, do that side, and then we're gonna come in with. And there's sandpaper around the outside of this can. What I find, quite honestly, is if you're doing mining cable like this, you probably need a little bit more than what you just get here. But you can get rolls of that too.
Now here is, remember earlier today, I said here's where
The measurement on this one was, to shrink it on this one, it says, okay, so we're just going to try to center over top of what it's got there. I don't see a, it says, like cold shrink insulator assembly over connector area. As the core is removed, the tube will elongate 1/4 of an inch. Position the tube so it's centered over the connection.
Got it.
Okay, so we're gonna center it over there. It's gonna, we know it's gonna grow about 1/4 of an inch, and you're gonna say from here to here, you're gonna try to center as best you can. Okay. If you're not dead nuts on this guy, it doesn't. You're gonna be okay. Don't go crazy on it. Okay, so I'm gonna have you hold him there. I'll show you how this pulls out. Okay, you hold him right here so he doesn't.
Want me to hold it?
Yep, you hold it. Okay, got it. Okay, so what we're doing is we're pulling and we're unwinding counterclockwise.
Right.
See how I'm doing that? Counterclockwise. Pulling, counterclockwise. Because once the tube starts to shrink, I can't spin the tube anymore.
And then the other thing is you got to make sure, watch this so it doesn't fold underneath.
Watch what?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yep. And now you can just pinch him right there.
Once it's in, we're pretty much grabbing it.
Yeah, once you get to this point, it's
And
going
then
to
we
go
can
pretty fast.
we can cut this as we go, right?
You could if you want, or you can just leave it there and I'll show you how to get it off easier.
And if you're gonna do anything, put it up a little farther here, because when you first start and it starts grabbing here, you can pull it straight by pulling backwards. But if it goes underneath, you can't push it forward
Got it.
to try to straighten it out. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Unfortunately, when we get to the terminations, they shrink on much faster. There's just not a lot of room here to
Yeah.
maneuver. You know, that's your whole
Oh, it's
problem.
gonna take time, so. It's gonna be a fucking long day and just sit there and make this
Yes,
shit
sir.
up all day.
It's like 2 days.
Fuck more. 2 days if you're fast.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do it right. I mean, this is just
It's gonna
practice.
take a
Yeah,
day.
it's
It's
just,
gonna take you a
just
day.
take your
Practice, you know?
time, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you a day to do
Yeah.
each one.
Yeah. And just remember,
It's gonna take you 4 days.
no one gets points for finishing first.
Yeah,
you get
no.
points for finishing
Get paid
correctly.
the same, right?
No, it's not even. It's more than that. It's you can't fuck it up.
Yeah, you can. Exactly.
Not even about the pay. You can't fuck it up. However long it takes you to not fuck it up, right?
That's exactly
I mean,
right.
that's really what
Yeah,
it is.
this would be on the other set that I sent you, right? You'd start here to here to rebuild the shield, but so because you
See it again.
tore up pretty much back here, I
And that's
if
when
you could
that's
set
what
any
that's why when I
separation would be
read the
great.
instructions, I looked
Okay,
Just overlap too.
So
so I'm starting
why
way
I'm
back here because of all this
Because
damage.
right.
But if not,
But if not,
you
I would
start
start
it
it.
from
I'd
where
start
it's
way up
good.
here.
Got it.
okay, got it.
Okay.
Alright,
Is
alright.
it that's on the instructions on your page?
Instructions.
At this point, we're also cleaning this, right?
Yeah, just a dry rag.
Yeah.
Right? You're just getting the crap off of it.
If all the little fibers are sticking to the semicon,
Mm-hmm.
how do we clean the semicon?
Don't clean the semicon.
Don't clean the semicon at
Don't,
all.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you can do that, your
Okay.
hands are clean, fine. But don't try to get any chemical on there. You saw how it kind of broke down when
Yeah.
I did it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so clean our hands and then wipe it down, maybe.
So there's lots of contractors that require people doing this to use the neoprene gloves at different stages.
Yeah.
Once you clean once you clean the insulation, you throw the gloves away. Once
Yep.
you're cleaning something else, you throw the gloves
That
away.
makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah.
I think that's probably the route we're gonna go.
Yeah, you have to be super clean. Someone's gonna be here pulling this shit. So
Right off the end.
It sucks, huh? Lapses on itself.
yeah, and when it's all together, you're gonna have to bring it out. Stupidity. Maybe like drill it to support it.
He just wants to keep coming off that rail.
Is this applied?
It will be in that other kit, yeah.
Yeah.
So those come in again. Yep. For this particular.
Everything we're looking at comes in.
It's like regular cleaner.
No, it's too.
This kid, we were missing that, but he had a roll from the termination. So we do have an issue with our. The only issue we have was that tape, right?
Yep.
Because we have a shield, and the kit's for non-shielded, right? Is that what?
Correct.
Yeah, right.
It's possible.
Say that's
Yeah.
gonna get big.
And so the stuff you're going to be missing is, you know, you can get.
That's what I'm doing is I'm just trying to keep tension on
Yeah.
that. So
Um,
don't wind on
you
me.
know, got samples
Now,
and tape. I've got
I'll show you how to
samples of every imaginable kind of
tie this
tape,
back
like
onto
and all that
itself.
kind of stuff. And so, yeah, that bag has got just loads and loads of stuff in it for that exact reason.
Close. I should have gone a little longer.
So I say.
So what you can do is you half hitch this under itself, and I would want to go a little further back on that, but you can half hitch it back to this other
Got it.
shield. Okay, and then this tail, you can just snip it off.
And we're just continuing the shit, so it's all one.
Yep, exactly.
Got it.
Okay.
So we did that because we damaged it. So this one we would start here.
Yeah, you're gonna start just go
Yeah.
here to here.
Is there a measurement on there? How much of the shield it would? Half an inch.
See,
Well,
I
that
think
Half an inch onto it. So if you start on there, that's 3/4 of an inch wide. You know you're at least half an inch. Make sense?
breeze down here could be running
Look
east
that
to
up.
west. But it's running west to east now. It's 740.
Same regardless of the kit. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, we're not connecting. This is talking about connecting a jumper for the armor. We don't have armor, okay? So now where we're at is we're gonna wrap this guy up with 33, but I cheat because you know you ain't cheating, you're trying. I use 88 because it's an inch and a half wide. You can get inch and a half wide 33. It's just inch and a half 88 is very common. Inch and a half 33 is not. So what we're gonna do is lift that guy up off
You
the
guys
table
know
a
the
little bit.
difference between 33 and 88?
No.
No.
The mills?
Yeah. Good answer.
It's twice as thick. That's it.
Here, just lift that
Twice
guy up
as
for
thick.
me, okay?
Hello.
Oh,
Thing-
the other thing you're gonna do too is you
Magical,
have to
it's
bring these guys
twice as
back
thick.
together too. Sorry. Buddies. You got to bring all these guys back together too, okay? So you're gonna need. That's probably if that's a 4/0, this is a 1/0.
And that's just a regular butt splice?
Just a butt splice.
That's
Yep,
it?
yep.
What happened?
Butt
Have to
splice
butt
back
slice it
together.
together.
You gotta bring these. You gotta bring these
Okay,
guys back
so-
together too. Okay.
Okay, so we're butt slicing them, no tape or anything.
Correct.
Just connect them.
Just connect them, and then also this is a 14 gauge.
And like an 8.
We have to get the spec on the cable.
Yep. and then you'll
Because
bring
I
all
don't wanna
those.
be guessing.
You'll bring all these together, right? And
Right.
You get the idea. Now, I will give you a nickel's worth of free advice too. Okay. Because as these come together, sometimes like that's hitting fine. This one, we're kind of struggling to get them there. This one, we're really struggling to get them there. Okay. If on one of your two measurements, so let's just say, where were we? We're 7 on the short side. Was that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So actually make it 9. Strip the jacket back. Then cut 2 inches off each conductor.
Leave it
Now
longer.
these things you can
Yeah.
go wherever you want.
That's exactly what I was
smart.
thinking earlier,
Yep.
honestly.
Yep. So
Like you could always cut it, right?
you can always come back.
Cut
and
at
these
9, cut your
Yeah.
conductors at 7.
at 7,
and then leave those 2
these
inches long.
until 2 inches long until you get there, and then you
Right.
trim to
I did
fit.
think
Are we
about that
removing
earlier.
all these? This is what does this,
This
do?
is
Does
just-
that do anything for you?
No,
No.
nope,
Just remove it.
no. Does that make sense to
No,
you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I did think about that earlier.
So I'm not worried about connecting it together for today, right? We're just gonna
So we have to
this
do
whole
it.
thing up. Okay?
No, yeah.
Alright, so let's lift. That can stay or that can go. I don't care. It's just what it is. It's just a protective. So in mining, when they're dragging cable across the earth, it's this guy that always fails on them, and this is what they call their ground check. So this guy fails, all of a sudden it shuts the whole freaking thing down because this little tiny wire
Really?
failed. Yeah, and so that's why they're protecting it a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So I would come and bring it together.
bring it together. Bring it together. Okay.
We'd have to,
All right, go ahead and lift it.
we need to get we'll get the spec.
So once again, the only reason why I'm using 88 is because it's cheaper. It's wider.
I like that. Fuck yeah. Makes me feel good too after I cheat.
As long as you get rid of it.
Yeah.
And here's for the ground wire instruction is just one sentence right there. Ground wire. Connect ground wires
Okay.
with appropriate connectors.
Got it.
Wire nuts.
That's it.
Fuck yeah.
Wire nut. Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure it's
big,
been
big
done.
blue.
Yeah,
Big
really
blue.
big ones.
Yeah, right.
Or just let them overlap.
And then
Fuck
now
yeah.
we're doing that.
Braid them together so
There you go.
there's a professional. Everybody else.
The kit obviously has this.
It has 33. of it, I
33.
think. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the 88, right? So
That's
the
88,
Super
yeah.
88 or whatever.
Saying 2 laps.
I think it's just one. Overwrap the entire one flat layer. All you're trying to do here, functionally,
Get a coverage.
is just squeeze it all together.
Right.
Right. That's you're just trying to squeeze it all together. Okay. Now we're coming in with our spacer web. Okay.
Space away.
Spacer web. Okay. Hey, they're all stuck together. All right. So we kind of do one here, one in the middle. Do 3 of them. One in the end. Okay. So it's gonna. Okay. Cool. Slide it. Kind of where that one is right there. So as it reads, it's gonna tell you wrap the 3M spacer web, form collars around, build them all the way equal to the diameter or slightly greater than the diameter of this cable, right? So you're just gonna. It's about right there.
Do not stretch.
Do not stretch.
Yeah, you just kind of get it, and it'll bind up on itself when it. That's why it's all kind of fibery like that. Because it should be binding on itself. Okay. Okay. And you do the middle.
This one, right?
Yeah, I'd probably go around just once in the center, right? Because the center's a little bulkier anyway. There's those handy scissors.
Use those things for everything now.
Yeah, I need some.
Okay. Here's this one. Yeah, yep. Okay.
Get this one.
Now,
Yeah.
let's get this guy. Okay, here's the kicker. So when you do this, I want the holes to the top. Okay,
You're not
holes to
filling
the
it?
top.
Got
You
it.
gotta fill it, okay? Now, what you're gonna do, blow shit away from here. Okay, go ahead and lift the cable.
Now you can put it in.
Oh, I found the funnel spots. I'm gonna use the funnel spots.
Damn.
Oh,
So we're gonna wrap this around, okay? And then we're gonna come
That's what's gonna hold it in
here.
place.
Yep, and then we're gonna wrap that around. This is the rubber. This is
belt.
elastic,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah.
All right. So Are we ready?
Do you put that underneath?
That's what I was gonna ask.
No,
You
it
could
goes
go from-
over top. See here, it's going over top.
okay, gotcha.
Okay. So,
Four people.
yeah, it's.
We're not worried about how tight this is or anything? Like, what's the...
We're gonna want it kind of as tight as we can get it, right? I mean, and we're gonna want to try to center it.
No, that's all. I'm on top. This
I
is
know.
what I need.
Oh,
You guys are fighting each other.
Yeah, this has to go back. Me, it's him.
There you go. How you feel? Okay. All right. One more.
Oh, that's funny.
Only one guy.
You do. You do. Bigger splice kits have 3 funnels, smaller kits have 2, some have even 1, which are centered there, okay? So we get that on, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of pinch this down, and then we're gonna tape those ends, okay? You can, if you want, like you'll know after the first one, maybe you need, like this is scored here, so you can cut that if you want to, type deal. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these guys, see where it finally shows us here. Show you where it's at. Okay. So we got some 130C that's in there. That's gonna work a little better than just the 88. And you've got 130C, it's a mastic, or it says use 33 or what have you, but
And there's different
130C.
sizes of that too.
yeah, you can get thicker of this.
Yeah, that's 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch.
And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to pin this down like that, okay? I'll do one side.
Remember, we're gonna pour liquid into here. We don't want it coming out the ends.
I want to start here and work
Basically,
that.
that's it.
Makes sense?
So you'll work it.
Yeah.
Work it right.
I'm gonna try.
Oh yeah, it'll do it like kind of by itself. It's...
No, this is what Brian's talking about in mining where they're dragging it. This is going to turn
How
into
do we end up crooked?
a big peak.
Oh, the way we fucking rolled
Never-
it.
Yeah, it's okay.
If something goes wrong, it's going
Straighten
to
it
go
back up.
wrong at the other side. So you can't. But you also use a very similar splice
This is gonna have the holes in it.
Yeah, I'll look at everything.
where the
We
cable
all,
in
Yeah,
the
they
wind
go
farms,
out of whack.
like how far away wind farms are from each other. Do it because
Okay.
this stuff,
Got
the
it.
cable might be going through a wash. Okay?
okay.
This place, that's what
Oh, you adjust that.
use this stuff because it's waterproof.
Okay. Sorry.
Right like that.
No, no, you're good.
I'll go that way. Fucking four guys.
Make sure that's shaken down
How much is this kit?
when you cut it. Yeah, probably just come on.
Fucking looks expensive.
This, like I said, this is about the most complicated, second most complicated splice we have. The worst is lead cable.
Lead?
Lead cable.
Oh no.
Paper insulated lead. That's the worst.
You're getting this.
That has a tear in the middle.
It'll tear it. It's perforated in the middle. You know who's actually the best at doing this is Randall. He's great at getting these things apart. I'm terrible at getting these things apart. I suck at it.
It's a no G.
So you have to. So
The chemical
see? So it can mix, huh?
reaction.
Yeah, it can mix. Yep.
I don't want to fuck
So
it
you,
up.
no, you can't fuck it up. There's tons of it.
I could put that.
Fuck yeah, you could. And crash it too if it had wheels.
So
But
it's just kind of
known for that shit or what?
It's like my son.
Fucking
dude.
crashed every vehicle I ever fucking had. He's crashed.
Yeah, my son's the same way. Daniel. Oh my God.
You don't want to hit that fucking.
Once you pop it,
with the-
Fucking 18 with that.
Yeah, that's what
Oh, really?
That's hard.
it's just kind of a turn. Okay, so you got it? Okay, so now mix it, okay?
Mix it up.
Here's the deal, mix it.
You found the perforation? Or
Yeah, I
was
just
it-
pull, I
Oh,
started on
it
one
pull,
side and pulled
it
it, and
separates
then
it.
let it mix.
Gotcha.
Scotch
30
test.
seconds.
What do you mean? Just do this?
Is that 30 seconds?
So
Does it come with a funnel or are you gonna get
just
messy?
mix it all up.
No, the funnels were right here.
Oh, good.
I thought I was going to pour it like I pour oil. Fucking so far away. Yeah.
You're almost at 30 seconds. Then what you're gonna, once you get that done, I want you to take the corners and just kind of squeeze it around the sides.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That should be 30.
That's you good.
And then
do,
now?
do like this, right? Just get the,
Get it all down?
yep, and then go each side, and do each side, and then mix for another 30 seconds. Up to
And then
30
all,
seconds.
even all 4?
Yeah, all 4. Yeah, just get it out of the corners kind of deal.
Got it.
All right, and go for about another, I don't know, another 10, 15 seconds. Okay. Oh, by the way, shit, got these up.
Forgot a step.
Stop mixing. Okay, who's pouring first? Sal, Sal, do something. This stuff is wear off. If it's on your skin, you're gonna have to wear it off. Yeah, it ain't coming off. Okay,
I'm good with this?
you good with that? Where did you see okay?
He's just doing it.
Just pour it.
Pour it in. Here we go. Did I get it? Yeah. Okay, keep going with it. Keep going and keep mixing.
Oh shit, it's ready.
So you can't splice this vertically.
No. You have to, you can splice it horizontally and hang it vertically, I guess, technically. Bob, you want to do one? Go for it. Count your 30 seconds, and then go to the sides and
Are we
sides and
pouring
sides
all the bags? So we just, whatever it came with is poured.
till it's full, right? So it depends. The different size
Cable.
cable
Yeah,
will take more or less bags,
Yeah,
right?
plastic
How
bags.
you gonna know it's full? Watch it.
Fuck.
And as
You
a
know what I'm
general
saying?
rule, we're gonna give you more than you need.
How fast is this
There it
stuff
goes.
set?
There it
Oh, yeah.
goes.
This
important.
particular one,
That seems really
so all resins are a little different. So